Virginia Dare was a very special baby. She was the first English child born in the New World, which we now call America. Her life began on August 18, 1587, on a small island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. This island was called Roanoke Island. Her parents, Ananias Dare and Eleanor White, were part of a group of English settlers who had traveled a long and difficult journey across the Atlantic Ocean. They hoped to build a new home, a new life, and a new community in this unfamiliar land. Virginia's birth was a symbol of hope and a sign that their new English colony could grow and thrive far from their old homes. Her grandfather, John White, was the governor of this new colony. He was a talented artist and a leader who was responsible for the more than 100 men, women, and children who came with him. The birth of his granddaughter, Virginia, was a joyful event for the entire settlement. It showed that families could begin and grow in this new place. They named her Virginia in honor of the Virgin Queen, Queen Elizabeth I of England, and the new land of Virginia itself. For a brief moment, her arrival brought happiness and a sense of promise to the struggling colonists, who faced many challenges in their new environment. The settlers had arrived on Roanoke Island in July 1587. They found the fort and homes from a previous expedition abandoned. They had to work hard to repair the buildings and plant crops for food. The local Native American tribes were not always friendly, and securing enough supplies was a constant worry. The colonists knew that they would need more help from England to survive the coming winter and establish a permanent settlement. The birth of a healthy baby girl amidst these hardships was a powerful sign of courage and determination, a small light in a world filled with uncertainty and fear. John White knew that the colony's survival depended on getting more supplies. Just 9 days after Virginia was born, he made the difficult decision to sail back to England. He promised his daughter, Eleanor, his son-in-law Ananias, and his new granddaughter Virginia that he would return as quickly as possible with food, tools, and more people. He left his family behind, believing it was the only way to save them and the colony. He could not have known that he would never see them again, and that their fate would become one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Governor John White's journey back to England was filled with problems. When he arrived, he found his country was at war with Spain. The Great Spanish Armada was preparing to attack, and England needed every available ship for its defense. Queen Elizabeth I would not allow any ships to leave for the New World. John White pleaded for help, desperate to return to his family and his colony on Roanoke Island. He was stuck, forced to wait while precious time passed. He worried constantly about his daughter, his granddaughter Virginia, and all the other settlers he had left behind in the wild, unknown land. It took 3 long years before John White was finally able to return to Roanoke. He managed to get passage on a ship in 1590. As his ship approached the island, his heart was filled with both hope and dread. He looked for signs of the colony, for smoke from their chimneys, or for people waiting on the shore. But the island was quiet. There was an eerie silence where a bustling village should have been. When he and his sailors went ashore, they found the settlement completely deserted. The houses had been taken down, and there was no trace of the more than 100 people he had left there. The only clue left behind was a single word carved into a wooden post of the fort. The word was Croatoan. Nearby, the letters CRO were carved into a tree. White had told the colonists that if they had to leave, they should carve their destination into a tree or post. He had also told them to carve a Maltese cross if they were in danger. There was no cross, which gave him a small bit of hope that they had left peacefully. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, now known as Hatteras Island, and the name of a friendly Native American tribe that lived there. White wanted to sail to Croatoan Island immediately to search for his family and the other colonists. He was sure he would find them there, living with the friendly tribe. However, a terrible storm began to brew, and the sailors on the ship refused to risk the dangerous journey. Their anchor cable broke, and they were almost shipwrecked. With a heavy heart, and with his supplies running low, John White was forced to give up his search. He had to sail back to England, never knowing what happened to his granddaughter, Virginia Dare, or the lost colony of Roanoke. Because no one ever found out for sure what happened to Virginia Dare and the colonists, their story turned into a legend. For centuries, people have told tales and imagined what might have become of the little girl. One of the most famous and enduring legends is the story of the White Doe. This tale says that Virginia Dare was not killed but was instead adopted and raised by a local Native American tribe. She grew up to be a beautiful young woman, known for her grace and her mysterious pale beauty. She was said to be able to move through the forest as silently and swiftly as a deer. The legend continues with a magical twist. A powerful Native American medicine man wanted to marry Virginia, but she was in love with a young warrior. In his jealousy, the medicine man used his magic to transform her into a pure white doe. The white doe would often be seen wandering through the forests of Roanoke Island, a ghostly and beautiful figure. Her heartbroken lover, the young warrior, searched for a way to break the spell. He learned that the only way to change her back was to shoot her with a special arrow tipped with a magic pearl. Unfortunately, the story has a tragic ending. At the same time, the young warrior was hunting for a way to save her. A colonial hunter also saw the beautiful white doe. The hunter, not knowing she was a person, took aim with his silver arrow, wanting her perfect white hide. According to the legend, both the hunter's silver arrow and the warrior's magic pearl arrow struck the doe at the exact same moment. She fell and transformed back into the human form of Virginia Dare, but she was already gone. Some versions of the tale say her spirit still roams the island. This enchanting and sad story is just one of many attempts to explain the mystery of Virginia Dare's disappearance. While it is not based on historical fact, the legend of the white doe has kept her memory alive in a powerful way. It captures the imagination and connects her story to the natural landscape of North Carolina. It transforms the lost child into a mythical figure, a spirit of the American wilderness. The tale has been told in poems, plays, and books, making Virginia Dare more than just a historical footnote. She is a character in American folklore. Today, the story of Virginia Dare is honored in many ways, and one of the most prominent is the Virginia Dare Trail. This is not a single road but a series of connected highways and local roads that form a scenic route stretching from coastal South Carolina, through North Carolina, and up into Virginia. The trail is a way for modern travelers to connect with the past, following a path that links important historical areas related to early American settlement. It isn't the exact path the colonists took, but it's named in her honor to memorialize her as a symbol of new beginnings and enduring mystery in America. The trail winds its way through areas rich in history. In North Carolina, a key part of the trail is U.S. Route 64, which leads directly to Roanoke Island, the very place where Virginia was born and the colony disappeared. Driving this route takes you to the Fort Raleigh National Historic Site, where you can explore the preserved earthworks of the original settlement and watch The Lost Colony, an outdoor drama that has told the story every summer for decades. The trail serves as a physical guide, leading people to the heart of the mystery and helping them experience the landscape where these events unfolded. The Virginia Dare Trail is more than just a name on a map. It is a thread that connects the present day to a pivotal moment in the nation's origin story. By traveling this route, people are reminded of the bravery and hardship of the first English families who attempted to build a life in America. It encourages tourism and education, drawing visitors to the Outer Banks and other historic sites. The name itself acts as a history lesson, sparking curiosity in people who might wonder, who was Virginia Dare, and then discover the captivating tale of the lost colony for themselves. Virginia Dare's legacy is so powerful because it represents both a beginning and a mystery. As the first English child born in the New World, she is a foundational figure in the American story. At the same time, her unknown fate makes her a symbol of the questions that history can never fully answer. The Virginia Dare Trail ensures that she is not forgotten. It transforms a simple car journey into a pilgrimage through time, inviting us all to remember the lost girl and the lost colony, and to reflect on the deep and often mysterious roots of American history.